Hey YouTube, what's up? Rosh14 here. Alright, so let's get down to it. I finished the Obelisk deck. We're done with that. We're going to move forward from that until Konami gives the gods more support, which I doubt they will, but we can only ask for it. If Konami, if you're watching this video, please give the gods more support. People would really love it. Thank you. So back to what we were talking about, Lightsworns. Alright, so I have started working on a pure Lightsworn build, except for with the exception of Necro Gardener and Plague Spreader. Those are the only two cards that don't really belong in the Lightsworn deck. That's the only change that I see, it not being a pure Lightsworn deck. But considering that everybody else does Dragon Rulers, it doesn't matter. This purpose of this deck is to replenish. Get everything back from the graveyard and back into your deck so that you can continue milling and mill and mill and then whip out these strong synchros or XYZs, whichever you prefer. Mainly synchro options because the pure Lightsworn deck kind of caters to the synchros more than XYZs. So we'll get into that though. But I'm going to show you the deck and then you tell me what you think. Alright? Thanks guys. Bye. Okay guys, so this is the deck we're doing. This is the Lightsworn build that I was telling you guys about. So let me know what you think, alright? So first start off, 3 JDs, okay? Everyone knows what JD's for. If you don't know what JD's for, he is basically the judgment of Lightsworns. Basically what you do is you have to have 4 Lightsworn monsters in your graveyard in order to special summon him. Once you've successfully special summoned him once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points to blow up the field. On the end phase of your turn, you mill 4 of the top cards of your deck into the graveyard. So, 3 JDs. A lot of people don't agree with this, but I run 1 Gragnoth. 1, because he's a beater and a piercer. He does piercing damage, and he mills 3 monsters at the same time. He's also an option for Beals as well. But mainly because he gains 300 attack for each Lightsworn in your graveyard, so I'll explain later why we use him. There's a specific card that we have in here for him. So then, of course, 3 Raidens. I run 3 Raidens because I don't want to run the card Trooper. Raiden is a perfect option. He's a level 4 tuner. Gains 200 attack for each for when a Lightsworn monster is milled by his effect, and also he becomes 1900. But essentially you mill 4 cards off of him in 1 turn. So you have your 3 Raidens. Of course, the MST of the deck, 3 Lilas. Okay. Working on getting all the rarities here. Lila is basically your MST, so you change your battle position and then destroy a spell trap card on the field that your opponent controls. And at the same time, she mills 3 cards, and she's a 1700, so 3 Lilas. The monster reborn of the deck, Lumina. Okay, 3 Luminas. We run 3 Luminas because she is your monster reborn. She's your option to get Michael, main option to get Michael, and also other monsters as well. But you always want to go for Lumina. If you go for anything, it's Lumina in this deck. Okay, so then your draw power. When you have Lumina out, we run 3 Gareths. The reason why I run 3 Gareths is because he's a beater. He's 1850, and when a Lightsworn effect monster goes off, he mills 2. And if you mill Lightsworns out of those 2 cards, you get to draw a card for each Lightsworn milled off of him. So essentially, he's your draw power and also your mill power. And he's also strong enough to stay out on the field. He's also your synchro option as well. When you have Raiden and him out, you mill 2, he goes off, he mills 2 more, and then you can draw if you can draw off of him. If not, then you can synchro into an 8 with him as well. So he's your synchro option. Lila is your synchro option when you have a level 4 tuner or 3 for Michael or the other synchros that I will be showing you. Okay, guys. Don't get mad, but I run 3 Minervas, okay? I don't know how many times Minerva has saved me, and you'll see why when I show you the other cards that are coming up. Minerva gets Gragnoth, the dragon that I showed you earlier. brings it to your hand. And then also she's a level 3 tuner, so if you have Gareth out and you need a synchro for Michael, it's a Michael option. On top of that, when she gets milled from the deck, you mill one. If she's sent from your hand to the graveyard, like Monster Reincarnation, Beckoning Light, Lumina, her effect goes off and she mills the top card off your deck. So that helps. And she's mainly to help you mill the deck out. And she's one of the reasons why you'll mill out really fast. Gareth does not go off when Minerva goes off, just in case. Erin is just for her name and also for her effect. If she attacks a defense position monster, sends it back to the deck. So she's good for Shadal's. You can switch in and out if you want to side deck 2 Erins for 2 Lilas, to get more Erins out when going up against Shadal. But I prefer Lila more because of the MST option. Now, the reason why this deck mills so much. Felice. Okay? Everybody doesn't agree. I run 3 Felice. I cannot tell you how many times I have used Felice and then brought out another Felice because she was sitting right there. Basically, Felice cannot be normal summoned or set. She can only be special summoned if she's milled by a monster effect, but she can be special summoned by a card effect. So Lumina's effect still works on her. Trap cards or spell cards that would bring monsters to the field, like an example, Monster Born, the Call of the Haunted, they all work on her. You can still use her to grab her from the graveyard. When she's face up on the field, you can tribute her, target a monster that your opponent controls, destroy it, and then mill 3 off the top of your deck. Now, this is a ruling that needs to be brought up, but in Yu-Gi Pro, Felice's effect starts off Garrett's effect because you controlled her when her effect goes off, even though she goes off in the graveyard. It's a little iffy. Yu-Gi Pro allows it to happen. So, but again, she's a 2000 defense, so you special summon her in defense position. She's a level 4 tuner. Again, another tuning option. We're running a lot of level 4s to get a lot of level 8 synchros. So that's another reason why we run 3 Minervas, because Minerva will be sitting right on top of this, and then Minerva mills her, you special her out to the field. Alright, now the 2 wolves. Reason why I still have Wolf in the deck is because, 1, he gets milled, he specials out regardless of whatever reason. And also, he's 2100. Okay, he's basically the Cyber Dragon for this deck. Why you wouldn't run him? Yes, he gets stuck in your hand sometimes, but with as many options as you have for getting rid of him, which I'll show you soon, with Lumina or anything, you'll always be able to get rid of him. So the 2 wolves, and also because of the XYZ Kakaguchi, which is what we run in this XYZ deck, you have 5 Beast Warrior monsters options to get Kakaguchi out, and then he mills, when he's XYZ summoned, he mills 5 off the top of the deck, and on top of that, if he's going to be destroyed, you just detach off of him, and then he won't be destroyed. So that's the other reason why we run 3 Felice and 2 wolves. So now, we have Plague Spreader. Plague Spreader should be self-explanatory. He goes for Beals. He's a level 2 tuner. The combo with Plague Spreader is if you have him in your hand, let's say you specialed out Wolf because you foolished him or he specialed out. Normal Plague sync for Goyo or any level 6 synchro. Bring Plague Spreader back by his effect. So if Wolf is in your hand, or Felice, you put them on the top of the deck, XYZ with Plague Spreader with the level 6 you had just made, then you make Beals. And then whatever Lightsworn you have on the field will mill Felice, and then she specials out. So I used to have him at 3, but I brought him down to 2. So that's the Plague Spreader. And then of course Necro Gardener should be self-explanatory. If Necro Gardener is in your hand and you manage to special out Felice or Raiden, whatever, he's just another level 3 option for Michael or Black Rose. So again, That's, and also because of his effect that you stop a monster from attacking, so you protect Lumina with Necro Gardener's or anything that you have, for that matter. Now, moving on to what spices up the deck. We have Cephalon. Alright, so Cephalon. 10 monsters in the graveyard, you can special summon him. If a fairy type that's level 8 or higher in the graveyard, you can special summon it, negate its effect, and it becomes 4,000. This is your OTK card, or, he's just a 4,000 beater that you can just whip out like no issue, especially in Lightsworns because you mill so much. You're gonna have 10 monsters very easily. So, and because he's a light, you can bring him back with Beckoning Light as well. So if you have JD and him in the graveyard, you just Beckoning Light for him, and JD, drop JD, blow up the field, drop Cephalon, and that's game. So, your opponent still has 1,000 left. The option that no one sees coming. I run Exodius. Everyone, you're probably wondering why. Why Exodius? I mean, he brings back everything from the graveyard. 1. Exodius' effect. He can only be special summoned by returning all monsters in your graveyard back to the deck. So if you're down to 5 cards, and you activate Exodius' effect, then you just brought back all your Lightsworns, including JD, including Cephalon. Anything that you didn't use as a monster goes back. And voila. You special summon him in the defense mode, though. That's that would be the smart move to make. So again, great option. I mean, no one sees this coming. No one. They don't even pay attention. When they see him in the graveyard, they're going to look at him like, why are you running Exodius? Does he have Exodia in the deck, But mainly use him for that. And then if anything, I'm not running level 10 XYZs. I might, but I'm not sure about that option yet. So, now we go into the trap cards. A lot of you may not agree with this, but it is necessity for this deck, okay? Glorious Illusion. It is the Call of the Haunted for Lightsworns. You can bring back Michael, Gragnoth, Lumina, anything that's Lightsworn in its name, you bring it back. And on top of that, at the end phase, this trap card mills too. So it helps a lot. You get a lot of mills. It helps you with special summoning Michael back if he got destroyed, bring him back. And that's it. You could start banishing again. You start, 26 beater. Whatever option that you need from Lightsworns, you can bring it back. So that is why we run Glorious. But mainly for Gragnoth. If half your deck is gone and Gragnoth is in the graveyard, he's the one you want to get because Gragnoth can go up to easily 4,400 in this deck. So, and on top of that, he does piercing damage. 2 breakthroughs. If you don't run a breakthrough, something's wrong with you. Have to run 2. I'm trying to get 3, but I like the 2 option better. And then we're running 1 Beckoning Light. And then 2 monster reincarnations. Okay, guys, 2 monster reincarnations, self-explanatory. And then the most common spell cards for Lightsworns is Soul Recharge. We're running 3. This helps you get Wolf and Felice out of your hand and into the graveyard and draw power as well. And then, of course, the number 1 typical card to run, Charge of the Light Brigade. So, as you can see, it's pretty much a really pure Lightsworn, but not so much, but the options are amazing. So, now let's get into the extra deck, which I'm going to blow by. Should be very self-explanatory. Like I said, Kagaguchi, then you have Paula Domino, okay? For the Tsukiyomi, okay? Again, drop your hand, draw 2. Then, I'm running Amaterasu for right now. He's going to be the Exiton. Just to let you know, in case you already have it and you plan on building the deck. Illumnite, I'm just running for now. He's going to be the Honor Arc of the extra deck. And then, of course, Rhapsody. When you're going up against a Lightsworn deck, you want to use Rhapsody to your advantage. Remove 2 of their Lightsworn options. Okay. Now going into the extra deck, for the Synchros, okay, the famous Goyo Guardian. Everybody should know what Goyo does. You attack a monster. If you destroy it by battle, special summon in defense position on your side. Then you have your 2 Michaels, okay. I'm running him at 2 for right now. 1, because he can bring himself back. If you summon Michael, he gets destroyed. Don't use its option. Bring out a second Michael, you can recycle that Michael back to the extra deck, and this one would stay in the graveyard as an extra name. And it just cycles themselves. So, after that, then you have Crimson Blader. Okay, stops your opponent from special summoning 5s or higher, level 5 or higher. Thought Ruler Archfiend, get that extra life points, and since you're going to build so much life points, you could protect him by paying 1,000. So it's a really good card, since a lot of trap cards target nowadays. So that works. And then for right now, I'm running Scrap Dragon and Beals. These 2 on the field is just MST or anything. It just pops a card off the field, because what you do with Scrap Dragon is you target Beals, and then their card, Beals' effect, protects himself. So you just pop a card and pop a card, right? And then the Black Rose, I'm running Stardust right now, but I'm going to switch it out for Black Rose or the new Stardust Dragon that's coming out. And then my favorite card for a mirror match, Allied Justice of Decisive Armor. This guy is awesome for going up against a mirror match with Lightsworn or any light deck for that matter, like Stellar Knights or anything like that. This guy destroys. I went up against a Photon deck, and I used his last option, which I had Wolf in my hand. I pitched it to the graveyard, and I looked at his hand, and he had 2 Alexandrite Dragons, a Galaxy Photon Dragon, and Photon Wizard. And it was my first turn. I went first of the duel. It was my first time. I didn't get to draw, and I special summoned him because I managed to get Lumina, and Raiden, which is the options you would use to get this, or Lumina Felice, just to get 10. And I ended him before he even got to draw a card. So Decisive Armor is a really great option. A lot of people don't like to run him because you need 3 monsters to summon him. But when you do, on top of being a 3300 defense and attack, his effects are just awesome. So it's a good card all in general. So I run that. So that's the deck, guys. Let me know what you think. Leave comments and questions below. I've been more than glad to answer. I've been keeping up with you guys. I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks a lot. Thanks.